Is that okay? Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was perfect.
So where's our team leader? Team leader, please start the discussion.
Okay. Okay. Today is like rally around the flag effect and Korea's changing external relationships. And when we see like professors PPT file, professor told us rally around the effect, a flag effect is a concept used in political science and international relations to explain the increased popular support of political leaders during periods of international crisis or dispute. The observation that groups unify in the face of common threats is long-standing, and as such, it is not problematic. It is what Professor told, but if you're okay, like Hyunsub, can you change this for like our words, like a little bit more easier? Can you explain for us?
Okay. I'm not really sure about the what exactly rally effect is, but as far as I know, people or some leader use this kind of method to get support or to get some positive comment maybe to so he or she backs up his or her opinion to like what he or she demand. That's what I think.
Thank you. And I think like Aziza is also busy and like so we can do fast and just send it to
okay.
Professor.
Straight to the question, right? Yeah.
So maybe to sum this effect up one more time, as simple as possible. The way I understood it, rally effect is basically a tactic or a phenomenon that happens when you shift the focus of the public away from internal problems to out or external problems. And as our professor mentioned in his PPT and in the question as well for today, or for the session, that in South Korea's case, it's mostly Japan or North Korea. So whenever something happened with North Korea or Japan, there was some sort of incident or sakkon, then people would shift their focus on that, or political leaders would use that to manipulate the people, maybe to look at that and ignore internal problems. So that's why he called it like a diversionary tactic. So yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Good. And then another thing, maybe just to sum it up, and then we can talk about the question, that our professor said that there are multiple causes for this, but one of the biggest causes is like patriotism, because if you have pressure from the outside, from enemy states, then that sort of makes people stick together. You know, they identify themselves more as a nation by distinguishing themselves from others. So if there's pressure from the outside, that's when people, you know, get closer together, and that's when this rally effect happens. Yeah. Okay. Anyone want to add something to that? Maybe I don't know.
Thanks. Um, what happened to Bowman? Okay, it's not connecting at all.
I don't know. Didn't he reply
Okay,
earlier today?
Yeah, maybe. I think he forgot about it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just do it. Yeah, so like today's discussion topic is first thing is political leaders in South Korea in expectation of rally effects often try to spread either anti-North Korea sentiments or anti-Japan sentiment by demonizing them or exaggerating their threats. What should be done by civil society not to be misled by such a diversionary tactic? This is today's topic, and it's like when I like summarize about it, it's about like in Korea government, few leaders use this like anti-North Korea sentiments or anti-Japan sentiments by like changing citizens' sites to another way, like rally effect. So today's topic is like what should be done by civil society not to be misled by such a diversionary tactic. It's like really hard topic, I think. I think like
Okay. Yeah.
Civil societies I think civil society have to more like I can't remember that word, but like have to like prepare more like about like education, like about like history education or like about diplomatic education. So if like all citizens know about what's the fact and fault, then they will not be misled by such a diversionary tactic. So civil society have to educate all citizens and tell all citizens to like this is fact and this is like rumor like this. So tell all citizens to like what is right and what is wrong about it, I think.
Yeah, maybe the way in which people can differ from fake news, or like, because fake news are very like usual these days. So like the best way is to keep informed, but not only from one side of the like. If there's two sides of a, I don't know, a thing or something like that, maybe just not to keep in one side, but like to see the whole panorama. So like see one point of view and then you see another point of view, because you cannot stick to one point of view, otherwise like you always gonna support like first thing you see the first time you read. And the best way to like not be misled by those like tactics is like to study well like who is telling. So like who is the one that is, or like the powerful people, like who are they, what have they done like in the past, and what are they looking for. or what are they fighting for in the future. Maybe like if someone is running from presidency, then that's very important. Like he's trying to make an impact on the people's decisions. So obviously he's going to be wants to be very present on what's happening on like problems with the country, you know. I think that's the best way. People cannot be misled by those things, those tactics.
Yeah, I agree with guys, and I want to add that not to be misled up with such tactics. Like people should be more conscious and not like blindly trust to politics and in everything what they say, and to mass media, and like every news in newspapers doesn't mean that it's true. You should like search for situation, understand both sides, of course. Just search what was the motives, what was the reasons, how it happened, because it can be like only one right side. In every situation, both sides have their bad, like some bad contribution to developing of such bad situations. So I think people should be more conscious, more tolerant, and try to understand that their country, their politics shouldn't be right in every situation. They can do mistakes, and they should just understand it and just watch. Maybe we did some mistakes, maybe not only they are our enemies and they are bad and we are good in every situation. Like just try to serve more information, to understand both sides.
Eduardo?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe I can add something to that. So, first thing maybe I want to say, when I read our professor's file, so when he asked us about examples from other countries, from our home countries, it reminded me actually of a lot of cases in, for example, do you know, have you ever heard the term whataboutism? It's a term that was coined during Trump's presidency. I'll write it in the chat so you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Whataboutism. So this term whataboutism was coined during Donald Trump's presidency in the US. And what this means is that whenever people try to confront Trump with a certain problem that was going on inside the US, and not just Trump, but also other like Trump supporters as well, conservatives, people would always reply, or Trump would always reply with, but yeah, but what about this problem? What about that problem? So that's why it's called whataboutism. So whenever people ask, can you please help, I don't know, California fighting the wildfires? Can you please help this and that area in our country? People would always say, okay, but what about blah, blah, blah? What about the Mexican border? What about this issue with China? You know, people, Trump and his supporters always love to, you know, criticize China and other nations. And so they use this whataboutism to divert people's attention away from internal problems and make them focus on outside problems. And that's basically this rally effect, just another name for it. And what people in the US used to do, or still do, of course, because we live in the, you know, in our modern day and age, we have lots of social media. So people would try to educate other people by showing them on social media that there are problems inside the country. And so this would be like one solution, because you can reach a lot of people via social media. And of course, you already mentioned, like Diego and Albina, I think, mentioned fake news. of course, you can also spread fake news over social media, of course. But if you research your topics well and to present people with facts, maybe that can, help convince some people. So yeah, so the US was one example that I wanted to mention from our modern day. Another example, which is sort of my home country, is Turkey. So Turkey nowadays is suffering a lot, has a huge financial crisis. Like there's very huge inflation, and people who support the current president always say, yeah, but our president does so many great things for us. He built so many roads and so many great buildings and bridges, and he changed the landscape of Istanbul completely, but doesn't help the fact that a lot of people in the country are suffering. So that's like the rally effect in Turkey nowadays, and even it's like not a new phenomenon. I don't know if you know about the history of Turkey or the Ottoman Empire, but towards the end of the Ottoman Empire, so let's say like the end of the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire used to be really big, but at some point there were lots of different people groups that started, revolting. They didn't want to be part of the empire anymore. And so there was lots of pressure from the outside, also from the European powers, like from colonial empires. And so there was also the sort of rally effect during the Ottoman Empire. But yeah, I don't want to go on forever. Let's just cut the end here. Sorry. So yeah, the first thing I thought about is like educating people as well, like you mentioned, and social media. But I don't know how else to educate people, to be honest. Does anyone else have another idea, maybe?
I could say that I also completely agree with all you guys. We have to carefully listen to the newspaper and mass media. Also, I think we should avoid listen from like extremely right side of extremely right and extremely left because they do not concern what others think. They only maintain what they think about. So I think avoiding the extreme right or left is also important, because in Korea, some YouTuber make video about their ideology. For example, some YouTuber make video about very conservative idea, and he tries to how do I say make some people think that President Park Geun-hye was not was not committed the crime. She was just poor victim. So I think yeah, avoiding. So we should improve our ability to pick what the fact and what is the fake.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Oh,
You first.
no, it's okay. I I wanted to add like about example of this kind in my country. Yeah, in Russia we have such example. Every time when we have some like dissatisfaction of some laws in our country, our government try to shift focus to divert an attention to problems of Ukraine or problems of USA. So you are not happy with this. They have worse when you have. So be happy with something that you did for you. Be like be thankful for us. We are trying to do our best. Just look how they have. You have better than them, so it's okay. Just you can be unhappy with these laws. So and every time it's something like this, every time on TV news about how we are better than USA or Ukraine, when a younger generation are unhappy with laws and trying to make some like actions, meetings maybe, and our government trying to divert an attention to problems of other countries what they like see as our enemies, like Ukraine and USA. And of course, about this, our older generation every time just trying like they just believe in everything what they are saying on the TV, and because of this, they just saying to their like sons or just what are you doing? Our country is the best. Just look what are happening in the Ukraine and say thank you. What are you talking about? We are okay. So it's every time like this, and in Russia it's really like often, and it's practicing, I can say, like every year when new laws are appearing, and of course other younger generations are unhappy with these laws because it's discriminating laws, and we are trying to do something with this, but we can't do nothing with this. So every year they're trying this tactic, just look, Ukraine is worse than us. Look at the USA, what's happening there, and you are okay. So like this.
I think that's very important. Yeah. Like, sorry, but it came to my mind like a generational change, like it's happening nowadays in Mexico, because like there's a new governor where I live. Like he claims to be like the new politics. So like you know that there's so many corruption between the ones that are the most experienced ones governing like each city, country, or whatever. But like he claims to be like something new, something like is looking also for the opinions of the younger ones, because in the presentation it said like the younger ones were really important for the new president of South Korea to reach power, I think. And I think that's very important because it doesn't need to be like the present or like the future to be like in the past. Like they really try to convince people that, I don't know, Japan or North Korea is doing something that looks bad and that is bad, and so they can manipulate it in favor of them. And as Albina said, like mostly the older people are the ones that believe what they saw or what they see in television, and they don't read any further. Well, in some cases, because there's still people that read like newspapers, I don't know, news. But like I think the generational change is very important here to let the new generations like have a greater voice or like bigger impact, because we are the ones normally that are like mostly in the internet, and with all this information that we have at our hands, we can be like can have like maybe sometimes or most of the time a better opinion or better knowledge of what's happening. And so I think new generations are very important to not be misled by these old tactics that the government tries to in the ways that government tries to control their people. I don't know if I'm all right.
Hey, Bomin, can you say hello and like, do you have any ideas about it? Did you sleep well?
Oh my god. I'm so sorry about
It's
that.
okay. It's okay.
I just, oh my god. There's nothing to say. Sorry. All right. Should I be quiet? Sorry, I'm just. Oh my god. Sorry. I forgot the time. So yeah. But I think I should move on. Move on a little bit. I'm sorry. I think I'm lost. Where should I go? Oh my god. So, hi everyone. Alright, you guys are recording, right? Oh my god, this is gonna go on. So can you just guys keep going?
I took a screenshot because you look so funny.
Come on.
Oh, I'm dying. Did you
Oh
have
my
a good
god.
sleep? Did you sleep well? Oh no, he's gone, I think.
What happened?
Can you guys see me?
Yes.
All right. Just let's keep going. I just try to catch you guys. Okay.
We almost did all.
I really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to add something?
Can I just be absent today? Just I just to be honest, there's nothing I can do, I think, and yeah, I'm glad to see you guys, and yeah, I'm sorry.
Society can do about that. Yeah, I don't think I have anything left to say. Does anyone else still have some points left? Okay, good. Okay, group leader, 팀장님, please wrap up the meeting.
Okay, like I think today like we did great, and you guys told about like your you guys countries examples. Yeah, I like that. And yeah, like today we talk about what should like civil society have to do about it. Yeah, and lastly, like Bomin join us and like say hello to us.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah, I
actually,
think we did. Yeah.
just quick note. So when it comes to the current pandemic crisis, actually an example from Germany. Things in Germany aren't going super great when it comes to the pandemic, but people still use the same tactic of diverting people's attention. Say, look, in other countries in Europe, they're doing much, much worse. Look, we are doing so great. You should be thankful to live here because the German government is handling things better than in blah blah blah, better than in, let's say, Spain or whatever. So I don't really know how like to solve the situation, because like there's lots of misinformation, lots of people who are anti-vaccinations, people spread fake news, false information. So yeah, it's not an example of how to solve the situation, so what should be done by civil society, but it's an example of a problem. It's an example of this rally effect in Germany. So there's lots of heated debates during the pandemic, and people use this tactic to focus people's attention outward and try to make them ignore the problems in Germany. But that's just one example. I mean, I think rally effects happen all the time in every country, basically. Yeah. Okay. That was really my last
Thanks
point.
for telling us
Sorry.
example. No, okay, thank you. Bomin, do you have any idea, or like do you want to add something? No. Okay. Then yeah, like maybe today like we can finish up here. Yeah.